It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
Good morning, I am Philip Simon, TGIF to you. Welcome back, my lady.
Listen, Phil, it is a pleasure to be back. Welcome back to you too.
That's right.
I came and went and you came and went, and so it's good
that's
to be
right.
back together again.
You missed it. I'm feeling much better now. You know, we took Naja off to college.
Yeah, how was that? You cried? Be honest.
I did.
Yeah.
And we all did. We all did.
That's beautiful,
We
Phil.
all did.
Yeah.
But, I mean, listen, you was vacationing last week, man.
I was. It was awesome. We actually went up to Atlanta, had a friend that got married, then went into Halifax, Canada, had another friend get married.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Tis the
been
season.
Tis the season. We've
Yeah.
had 13 weddings this year. That's yeah. It's it's that stage of life, but it's wonderful
Yeah.
to see people still celebrating and
Yeah,
still
yeah.
coming together
Yeah.
as a couple. And then we got to see the amazing Beyonce.
Yeah, you know, I read some of your posts, and you were saying this is the greatest performer of all time,
She
and I'm like,
is.
whoa,
She is,
slow
you know,
down,
and I
child.
love Michael. I love Michael.
on,
When I was
man.
I did, you know, I did the
Talking
bad
MJ.
rendition. I did it. But Beyonce is the greatest. I don't. Nobody's gonna change
All right,
that
well,
for
anyway,
me.
that's your perspective. We're going to leave Star right there in that zone. But listen, we've got a great show lined up for you today. As you can see, we are the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas. We're going to be talking all things culture and art this morning, eh?
And it's so exciting to be back here on West Hill Street. We're going to be meeting with the lovely Amanda Coulson.
Yes.
So brilliant.
Yes.
So impressed with the way that she's transformed this gallery. And not just the National Art Gallery, but all that's been happening with historic Charleston and the surrounding areas. So we're going to be learning more about that, talking to them about some programs.
Yeah.
And we've got a great dramatic rendition that
Yeah,
I'm
we
excited
do.
about as well.
The last edition of our summer entertainment series. Actually, I also had a chance to talk with Marcellus Taylor from the Ministry of Education, the
Okay.
Director of Education, about the upcoming school year. We got a
Okay.
couple of more days, eh?
Yeah, only a couple more days. I know
more
a lot
days.
of the kids are already back in school. My little cousins went back to QC yesterday. And we have everybody going back to school for sure by Tuesday.
Parents dancing.
Yeah, parents are dancing. The rest of us driving on the road. We're a little less excited, but
Yeah.
nevertheless,
Yeah.
it's another school year. So
Yeah.
we've got a lot to come for you in the show. We hope that you'll stay with us. Before we get to any of that, we're going to take a first look at weather.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's
and
hot.
It's hot and rainy.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
And so we're
yeah.
going to find out from Godfrey exactly what's happening there. Here he is with your first look at weather, Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather at sunrise, we do have on our surface chart a mid-level to upper-level trough across the northwest Bahamas. That's going to trigger us convection, but particularly with the northwest and central islands. And then we have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. That's going to make sure that we have some showers and thunderstorms occasionally across the areas. And as looking at your satellite picture, I can see some clouds across the northwest Bahamas and some approaching the southeastern islands. Any weather today, we'll look at a mix of sun and clouds, still hot and humid, with occasional cloudy periods that will trigger off some showers and thunderstorms, one or two becoming heavier at time. High temperature reaching 92, heat index 105. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a few showers, isolated thunderstorms possible. Your low temperature going down to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados, 85 and 78. In Jamaica, 84 and 74. In Trinidad, 88 and 76. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 89 and 78. Across North America, Atlanta, 86 and 70. In Raleigh, 89 and 72. In Miami, 90 and 80. Dallas, Texas, 96 and 80. And Toronto, Canada, 72 and 64. For weather look, Expect the convective activity to continue across the islands, but we have an approaching strong tropical wave over Hispaniola that's going to move towards the west. Should impact the southeast Bahamas late tonight into tomorrow, south central Bahamas by Saturday, moving into New Providence and the northwest Bahamas by Sunday evening, and that'll bring some showers and thunderstorms, some to become heavy at times. Temperature daytime will continue to be in the low 90s at daytime and the upper 70s at nighttime. That puts a wrap on your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want First Response on your side, call 32-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First Response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
So who really own a Nassau container port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you. I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Founded in 2003, the National Art Gallery has been at the forefront and actually the leading institution for art in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And leading this charge is no other than the director herself, Amanda Colson, who joins us on Bahamas at Sunrise. Good morning, Amanda. Welcome back. We are in your house today.
Yes, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for having me on the show.
Before we get into the conversation, I must say, Villa Doyle. I mean, the transformation of this place is actually amazing.
It's incredible. It was a ruin when I was a young girl, and it was falling apart, and the government of the Bahamas purchased it to become an art gallery, which was really wonderful. And I think, it was an important charge led by Dr. Gail Saunders, because even though, it represents a time in history which is an uncomfortable time for many,
right.
Also, Jackson Burnside always said, don't forget who built those things.
Yes.
So some of the things we're doing here is we tell the story of Villa Doyle as the first Chief Justice of the Bahamas, Sir William Doyle, but we also tell the story of who built it, who was a gentleman called Fred Dillett.
Yes.
And his, I think, nephew was George Cox, the first black civil engineer that oversaw the transformation.
That's right.
And his son, John Cox, is one of our leading artists.
Absolutely.
So within this building, there is the entire history of the Bahamas.
A tremendous amount of history. But when we talk about the National Art Gallery, what generally is the purpose?
The purpose is, again, a lot of people think we're here to sell art. We're not. So we're not a gallery in that sense. We're actually a museum. And what a museum does is collect, preserve, exhibit, and interpret. So that's our mission. So we collect Bahamian art of all eras. We preserve it for future generations. So we care for them, we clean them, we make sure they're well. And then we make exhibitions and we talk about history. We talk about how the Bahamas developed, how the art in the Bahamas developed. Yes. And so someone in 100 years could look back and say, hey, what were Bahamians doing in 2003, 2010, 1976? And we can show them.
When we talk about art, it's so diverse. It's really in the eye of the beholder. What would you say is the definition of art? And why is art so important to not just Bahamian culture, but cultures around the world? Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's, as I'm sure you know, that's a really tough question, right? Because there's different kinds of art. So there's applied arts, which are generally things that are useful. So again, furniture can be an art, right? That's not what we specialize in here. So we tend to focus on visual arts, which would be painting, photography, graphic design. But we embrace all the arts. We recently expanded the campus, so we're trying to also include the performing arts, because they all intersect. And it's important. You ask, why? culture defines who you are.
Right.
Culture is an expression of who you are. So it comes from the people. No one is telling you how to do that. You do it from your soul.
It's ever evolving.
Ever evolving. So, you know, that's how you can point to different eras in Bahamian development and say, this is what the Bahamas was at that time. But it's very important to preserve that, to educate. So we're here also on our mission, it says we're here to educate and uplift and inspire all Bahamian people everywhere.
Everywhere. You have exhibitions, obviously, throughout the year. Currently, you have one. How often do you have exhibitions?
Well, actually,
what are they usually about?
Yeah. So on the ground floor where we are now, we have a show with the permanent collection. Those are paintings and drawings that we own, that the nation owns.
Okay.
And we try to re-curate a show every year to tell a different version of the same story. So we get new pictures out. So every year, there's new pictures down here. Upstairs, we have 2 galleries. They change over every 3 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you can come back to the NAGB many times during the year. And those are temporary shows that are either solo exhibitions with Bahamian artists or group exhibitions. And then on the ground floor as well, we have a little project space. That changes over every single month.
Wow.
And that allows us to show younger artists or maybe applied artists. We've had quilting shows in there. We've had wood turning shows in there. Currently, we have the show from the summer camp, so it's children's artwork.
Yeah, we saw that coming in. I mean, well, let's talk about that. I mean, we call them the young creatives. I think that's what you call them.
Yep.
You know, what are you saying that's different about the evolution of the young creatives in art in the Bahamas?
Well, I mean, again, of course, like this generation is very different, right? So young creatives change every time. I think they have different resources, but in fact, at this summer camp, we taught going back to the islands, and we specifically taught straw work, shell work, because we want to make sure that even though as culture evolves, we always remember where we're coming from.
Yes.
And so we have this camp for 100 kids every summer, and we always do an art exhibition with them, and it's really fantastic. So I mean, again, like creativity comes in so many forms.
Yes.
Just because you're born in the 21st century doesn't mean you're not going to be a great painter or a great sculptor in the old sense. So we really try to just see what people are doing and try to encourage that development in whatever direction they're going.
Yeah. Does the gallery actively buy other artists' work?
We buy art, I would like to do it more, but that is part of our mission to collect. So because we need to create an archive.
Okay.
So we will buy work by artists that we think will be of historical significance, right? So we have to have a panel.
Okay.
There's an acquisition committee that has to look at things, and it has to be, considered from many different angles.
Okay.
Because the idea, again, is that we're really an archive. We're somewhere you can go to see what was made, when was it made, what were the people making art about then? Because art is an expression of what's also happening in society at the time, right?
Yeah.
So it's also a really interesting historical document.
So as an artist, what's the process that I would go through if I wanted to actually approach the art gallery for exhibitions or even for a purchase of my work?
Well, currently you should certainly make an appointment with our chief curator, who is somebody called Holly Bino.
Okay.
We love to look at people's portfolios. Again, we don't sell work, so we don't. We might buy one piece for the collection because we don't, go into the commercial side of it. But it's certainly interesting to apply for any of the open calls. We recently had an open call, which was called the Call for Pot Cakes. We asked, it's the Chinese Year of the Dog, so we asked Bahamians to make artwork about our dogs, right? Because that's part of our culture. So we're going to have a show opening on September 13th.
Okay.
And then we also just closed an open call for the national exhibition. That happens every 2 years. So I would say stay tuned to the website, see when we have open calls. But don't wait for that. Call, make an appointment, bring your artwork or take good photographs of it. And share those with us. We'll do studio visits. So, again, we want to know what's out there. So by all means, get in touch with us.
And of course, if we want to know what's happening in here, on a daily basis, you're open.
Absolutely. We're open on a daily basis, Tuesday through Sunday. There is a fee, but on Sundays it is free for everyone living in the Bahamas. So it is free Bahamian Sundays, and every fourth Sunday we have free guided tours. You can go to our website, www.nagb.org.bs. There's a calendar with all our free talks, free movies, exhibitions. And we also have a radio show on 96.9 Wednesday nights, Blank Canvas, so tune in. We always talk about what's happening. But we have a lot of offerings, workshops for kids, all kinds of things. So I would say really stay tuned, sign up for the newsletter, and join in, because it's your art gallery.
Well, listen, I know it's not a one-woman show, and listen, congratulations, man. I've been very impressed with all the work that you've done.
Thank you so much. I do. I have an awesome team, so shout out to them. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We are live at the National Art Gallery. We've been talking with the director herself, Amanda Colson. We'll be right back.
Do you want to know more about the scriptures, the early Christian church, its teachings, suffering, other religions, the authenticity of the Bible? The Anglican Theological Institute is for you. Enroll in a 3-year certificate program. Classes are conducted from NASA and Freeport on Saturday mornings. Don't miss a class. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with high-speed internet. Contact us at 603-2481. Visit our Facebook page. Pick up an application form at any Anglican church or at Addington House on Sands Road. The Anglican Theological Institute is for you.
Join us at the 6th Annual Andros Business Outlook at Love at First Sight Hotel in Stafford Creek, Andros. Thursday, September 13, 2018. Listen to industry experts discuss the theme, Creating a World-Class Andros. Speakers will include Minister of Works Desmond Bannister, MP for North Andros and the Berry Islands Carlton Bowleg Jr., Chairman of the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation Michael Coates, Peter Douglas from the Andros Tourism Office, Carlos Mackey, the Principal for Prime Finance and Consulting, Captain Sean Leedon from Andros Outdoor Adventures, and Prescott Smith, owner of Stafford Creek Lodge, plus a special workshop by the Department of Inland Revenue led by Athena Marsh and a special presentation of the World Trade Organization. Register now at tclevents.com or call 242-322-1000.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Well, we hope that you've enjoyed our summer entertainment series, bringing you some of the nation's best in so many different areas of artistry, all winners of our National Arts Festival competition. And today we're going to do something extra special for you, since we're in a beautiful place surrounded by art right now in the amphitheater of the National Art Gallery. We've got a wonderful dramatization for you by actress Chevette Miller, who was the winner of the Dramatized Characterization Community in this year's National Arts Festival. Chevette, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning to you too, and good morning, Bahamas.
A pleasure to have you with us. I'm talking to you now with Chevette, but you were actually a character that they call Annie Roxy. Who was Annie Roxy?
Annie Roxy is a combination of a few Grammys that I've had in my life.
Okay.
And mostly she's like a fresh Grammy, you know, but she comes with some wisdom at the end of the day.
All right.
And she like to talk about juicing, and she tell you like it is.
Okay.
All right. So you love Annie Roxy.
All right. So Annie Roxy is one of those the older women that we need in our lives sometimes to kind of bring us back to what's happening. Okay. And you told me that you kind of introduced this character by working with Miss Daisy as well, right? A name that we know well.
Yes, Dynamite Daisy. She's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
And yeah, she would have had me on her show a few times.
Okay.
Those who would have been in the audience would have heard my poetry as well.
All right.
But yeah.
And so this is personalized poetry that you're about to do for us.
That's right. I wrote these in 2001.
Okay.
And it's something that I love, and I'm pretty much sure the Bahamas is going to enjoy it as well.
All right. Well, listen, I'm not going to keep that much longer, but I wanted to just kind of find out from you how long you've been doing this, because you said to me this has been going on for many years, right?
Yes, many years.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, my first poetry, my poem that I wrote was when I was in grade 5 in 1989 or so.
Oh, wow.
And then through the course of the years, I find myself, whatever predicament I'm in, I'm able to just write a poem based on that.
That's excellent.
I can write a poem on any topic, anything. I can write a poem on you.
Okay.
You give me about 5 minutes and I'll have some...
Well, we can see if you can do that. After you done deliver these poems for us, I'm going to see if you can really do that. Now, you've also been doing the National Arts Festival for about 8 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so 8 years of doing the National Arts Festival. What keeps you going every year to come back and bring some new and fresh ideas to the stage?
For me, I love performing, just being in the presence of people,
Okay.
and just being able to be myself, and that's what I love, you know, and knowing that I can make somebody smile, put a smile on somebody's face, that gives me great joy.
Well, tell me, I'm going to tell you this right now. Your smile is amazing, and so just seeing you smile is making me smile. We're going to make some other people smile right now. What are the names of the two poems that you're about to do for us?
One is called The Mechanic.
Okay.
I know we got plenty of mechanics back in the day. Now the mechanics now, they kind of like, they don't revise and they do better.
Okay.
But this particular mechanic, you know, he like to fix other people's car when he in his.
Okay.
So I can talk about that one.
All right.
And then the next one I'm going to do is called Push Baby Push.
Okay.
Based on my experience on what I call the Table of Doom.
Okay.
Everyone who done had a child know about the Table of Doom.
Well, I know about that. I sure do. Well, listen.
So I may take you back down memory lane, just recite my point.
Okay. Well, listen, we're going to let Annie Roxy get to it right now. Here she is, Chevette Williams, talking about two of these amazing poems that she has written herself, performed, and won our National Arts Festival with, Miss Annie Roxy.
Thank you very much. The Mechanic. Mama done called the mechanic man to come and fix the car. Old Betsy sitting in the garage for more than 3 months now. Mechanic man be at me home more than I could count. And for some strange reason, he never charged Mama no amount. I come home early one day. He was stretched out in the chair. Anger rushing through my veins because he wasn't supposed to be there. Mama come dashing from she room, all dressed down in red, smelling like some flower shop. She had petals on she bed. Mechanic man jumped his feet. Not a word he say. Mama sent me to my room. Say I must go and play. I didn't like what I was feeling. Something was really wrong. Blood boiling in my veins. Papa take it mighty long. Say, but 2 hours later, I see my pa coming home. Tired from me hard days, we're going straight there to his room. When he realized what was going on, Papa most catch heart attack. Cause the only thing he see was the mechanic greasy back. As he ran for his shotgun, there was no bullet in. But one by one he load she up. Then the fight begin. Mechanic man grab his clothes, dashing for the door. Papa lick off his first shot, missing him by an inch or more. As he hear him free running legs, Mama grab a holy hand. Papa air went to the left, causing to Mr. Mechanic Man. He was sweating droplets of blood, thought he was dead for sure. Lift his hand, say, Lord, I swear, I can do this thing no more. Pa shoot that gun again. He grazing him by an inch. He knew for sure that the next one, he was going to feel a pinch. But Mechanic Man drive off in the car, never ever looking back. Forgetting that old Bessie still needed fixing inside the shack. Papa never mentioned to Mama about that incident at all, but he left them bullets as is embedded inside the wall. He say it's for remembrance so that Ma would always know that he there is a real man, not some kind of puppy show. When Mama learned she lesson, and Pa let off his steam. As Mama think that Tusha said, boy, I tell you now, two can play this game. Thank you very much.
15th Annual Abaco Business Outlook. Join TCL Group on Thursday, September 20th, 2018 at the beautiful Abaco Beach Resort to talk about how to boost the island to world-class status. Hear from local industry experts, including Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Michael Pintard, Kerry Fountain, the Executive Director for the Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board, MP for Central and South Abaco, James Albury, President of the Abaco Chamber of Commerce, Ken Hutton, the Director for the National Insurance Board, Dr. Nicola Virgil Roll, Patrice Roll from Sunshine Insurance, Carlos Mackey, the Principal for Prime Finance and Consulting, Donovan Ingram, the Corporate Wellness Coordinator for Atlantic Medical Insurance, from Graham Thompson, Samantha Williams and Alistair Crisnell, and Kevin Seymour, Chief Financial Officer for Pharmachem Technology GB Limited. The Outlook will also include a special work at the Department of Inland Revenue. Register now. Contact Margaret Albury at 242-322-505 or Winsome Ferguson from the Abaco Ministry of Tourism at wferguson@bahamas.com.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Of course, being an artist, it sounds glitzy, it sounds glamorous, it sounds like a lot of money, right?
Sounds so.
It sounds that way, right? We have world-renowned, and I say world-renowned because I imagine your pieces are all around the world, John, but certainly noted Bahamian artist John Beadle joining us live in the National Art Gallery. Hey, John, good seeing you, man.
Good morning, Phil.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good seeing you.
How's it been?
Good.
Listen, when we did a stint together, Jackson Burns said always used to say culture is who you is, where you is. Art has certainly evolved over time, and you've been in the business for a very long time. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, your style of art.
I have no style. John Beadle, been painting for a while, been doing sculpture for a shorter period. Installation art, woodwork, carving. So my repertoire is kind of long and narrow.
But what inspires you? I mean, how do you go between those? I mean, it's just a matter of what's happening in the day. It's what's going on at that point in your life. I mean, what's the inspiration behind what you do?
The environment I live in. What has been going on in my life. News. World news. Just a general atmosphere.
Right. You know, artisans have this, aura about them, and you know, there's also this thing called poor, starving artists that you hear from time to time. You know, how do you remain gainfully employed as an artist over time?
I don't know any poor starving.
You don't know any poor? That's a misnomer.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they may be poor in spirit, but I don't think poor.
Right.
How do you remain gainfully employed?
Yeah.
Practice your craft.
Okay.
I mean, there are people say in this community that we don't appreciate art. That's not true.
Okay.
What's happens is your price point may be a little hard to reach, but it's with you to bring that to where it needs to be, or diversify your practice. You know, so there is work out there.
We're surrounded, obviously, by, you know, artwork over a period of time, and we just had this conversation with Amanda, but art in and of itself evolves, you know, and Bahamian art seemingly has evolved over time. Is it just a matter of the materials that obviously change over time, or is it just a mindset and a psyche? Are today's artisans different than, say, those in the past?
No.
The
impulse may be different. You know, we get information quicker, or we get information quicker, so we use it. The way we look at art, look at experience, and how we expect that experience to then translate to someone else, it moves quicker, so we move at that time. The materials are better.
Okay.
So as opposed to using paint, oil paint, you use acrylic paint. As opposed to using, say, concrete, you use wood. So materials change. And we've been introduced to different materials too. Because we have more access to what goes on in the United States, what goes on in Europe, what goes on elsewhere.
Right.
So the access is there, more access is there. We're more visual now, we could see more. Like when I was growing up and people asked, someone said, John, you need to see more.
Right.
And it wasn't mean you open your eye wider, it meant see different forms of art. Understand what's out there and figure out how you situate yourself in the space. Yeah.
I know Jackson always used to use that term, you know, see what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds like what you're saying, but do you think the style of a Bahamian artist is different, say, from a Caribbean artist or a North American artist or a European artist? What distinguishes us?
I mean, I think there's a kind of dialect, but I don't know what it is. I wish that's it's there, and I think I see it, but I don't know. I can't say exactly what it is, but there's a dialect in what we do. You also see the similarities in the work seeping in from Europe or seeping in from North America, but you know, we have a dialect. Now, with how to explain that, I don't know.
Do you think there's, opportunities? I mean, you think there are more opportunities today than there were in years gone by, and our local Bahamian artists can really take advantage on the international stage? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, Lavar's been doing it, and a few others. You know, this gallery exists, and there are positions to be filled here. Before, artists didn't even recognize that they could come in this space and work in this space and learn in this space. Beyond painting, there's other things to do. Carving, woodworking, basket making, all those things. Now, finding the market or finding the niche to put yourself in is a different place. And it's harder to do that, I think, trying to find it, because everybody wants to be a painter. Everybody wants to be a painter, but it's not necessarily so that you need to be a painter. Yeah. I'm not a painter.
You're not a painter.
I'm an artist.
You're an artist. You're an artist. Why? You're a great artist, actually. in terms of culture, you know, and the linkages, artwork and artisans play. I mean, why is this so critical for us to understand and appreciate the work that, you know, persons like yourself do?
This is a difficult question, but it's not. You wish people appreciate your work. The marks you make at this particular time moves to another time for people to experience. You wish that's appreciated. You wish that the information you create now will translate years hence.
Right.
You only wish that could happen.
Only wish.
You know, you doing your work, an utterance. You don't know how far it's going to get. If you pay attention to where it's going to get, like someone said, look, I'm trying to create a legacy or build a legacy.
Right.
That's not yours to do.
That's not yours to do, right.
You know?
Right.
Do the work, do it well. Hopefully, it'll last longer than you.
All right.
And that's where you get your fame and your fortune,
All right.
hopefully, if not your children.
What's happening now with John Beadle, and what can we expect in the future?
I just got to doing a commission, woodworking. Right now I'm in the John Canoe Shacks.
Okay.
Wasting my time. No man, that's
Getting ready.
Yeah,
Getting ready.
Yeah. So that's in the John Canoe Shack.
Listen, man, John, always good to see you, man.
Always.
Always good to see you. Listen, we are at the National Art Gallery, sitting with, a legend, man. If you don't know him, get to know him. John Beadle. We'll be right back.
Shell is taking you on an exciting journey with its summer promotion. Now through September 14th, enter for your chance to win a brand new 2018 Toyota Yaris. Just make a minimum purchase of $20 worth of fuel from any Shell service station in Nassau. Answer the skill question on the entry form and submit. The grand prize will be drawn on September 14th. Other weekly prizes include free fuel vouchers and VIP packages to see Jay-Z and Beyonce live in concert August 31st at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. For more info, visit their Facebook page at Sunoil Bahamas.
I started in 1974 with the first-born Bahamian principal, Dr. John Knowles. I am overjoyed because I've made it to the university. That was something to be proud about because I've seen all the changes from college to university. I am Mary Major Russell, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Hi, I'm Davriel and welcome to Rev Tips, where we answer your most important Rev service questions. Today's question is, how do I set up a Rev My Account? It's super easy. To create a Rev My Account, simply visit www.cablebahamas.com and click the My Account icon. Next, select the Create Account option. Please have a copy of your latest statement on hand. Enter the information as it appears on the statement to the respective areas on the form. When you've finished, click Create Account to continue with the process. Once you've registered your account, you can use your username and password to check your account balance, view past statements, and pay your bill online. And that's your Rev Tip for this week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next time.
One thing, two things, blue thing, all things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Do you want to know more about the scriptures, the early Christian church, its teachings, suffering, other religions, the authenticity of the Bible? The Anglican Theological Institute is for you. Enroll in a 3-year certificate program. Classes are conducted from Nassau and Freeport on Saturday mornings. Don't miss a class. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with high-speed internet. Contact us at 603-2481. Visit our Facebook page. Pick up an application form at any Anglican church or at Addington House on Sands Road. The Anglican Theological Institute is for you.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point of this amazing, I just even feel more talented being here, Phil, at the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas.
It rubs off, doesn't it?
It does. I don't feel like an artist, like not like a visual artist,
No.
but I feel like
a
we're
Bahamian.
like a talking artist.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like Bahamian. True Bahamian. True Bahamian. I was learning some terms in there with John Beadle, the dialect of art.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what that means. I don't think I have a creative, talented bone in my body when it comes to this type of thing. But just being here really inspires you.
yeah, no, I mean, it is a beautiful space. So actually physically looking around, you just feel inspired. And then they actually have, on the second floor of the gallery, in one of the major showrooms, they're actually doing a display of what that art dialect looks like. So if people want to come in and see, we're going to talk some more in our second half about how they can come on into the gallery, kind of make it their own space and see what's happening here.
Yeah, and to see actually, as Amanda mentioned earlier, what the kids did this summer.
And that's
the
so
workshop,
cool.
I'm like, these are kids?
Yeah, like it blew my mind,
It's
right?
amazing. That place is amazing.
I'm happy that we're here today. I tell you that this is something that I'm passionate about, ensuring that Bahamians recognize that there is room for creativity. And I actually think that the future is going to be very creative focused. So this is a great space. And of course, we're going to have some more information for you coming up in the second half about how you can take advantage of the programs happening here.
For sure. You know, I always think and remember, you know, I mentioned him during the interview with John because they worked collaboratively very much together. But you know, Jackson used to say culture is who you is, where you is.
Yeah.
And you can't change that. So whenever you're trying to discover who you are as a person or what your culture is, it's exactly who you are today.
Yeah.
You know, so looking forward to it. So listen, we also have an interview with Marcellus Taylor
We
at
do.
the Ministry of Education.
Looking
That's
forward
coming
to
up
that.
shortly, right after weather, right?
Yeah, right after weather. So let's get on over to weather with Godfrey Burnside, and we'll have more for you after that. Here he is, Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star. Good morning, Bahamas. In a second look at weather, sunrise, a trip around the tropics. We have two areas of concern this morning. Number one, we have potential tropical cyclone number 6, several miles of Cape Verde Islands. Is moving towards the west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. Winds 35 miles per hour. Additional strength is expected today. And this potential tropical cyclone could become Tropical Storm Florence by this afternoon. And we have a strong tropical wave just over Hispaniola and San Juan, Puerto Rico, moving towards the west. It's producing showers and thunderstorms. That should move into the southeast Bahamas later tonight into early tomorrow morning, and by Saturday afternoon into central Bahamas, and some of the remnants of that will move into the northwest Bahamas by Sunday evening. Over the next 48 hours, it has a 0% chance, but over the next 5 days, a 10% chance as it moves into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Elsewhere, tropical storm formation expected during the next 5 days. On a local scene, mid-to-upper level troughs across the islands, triggering off some convective activity, so some showers and thunderstorms could be expected, some of them heavy at times. In the marine forecast, winds during the weekend, easterly at 10 to 15 North Sea, 2 to 4 feet over northwest Bahamas, gusty at times, and at 15-20 North Seas, 4 to 6 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Yeah, tides. You can expect a high tide at 10:46 this morning. Next low tide will be at 3 minutes past 5 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 11 p.m. Sunset at 7:28 this evening. Rises tomorrow morning at 6:51. UV index 9. Your water temperature 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase, we're now moving towards the last quarter. And as we move into the weekend, we're going to watch that tropical wave over Hispaniola moving towards the west. That should impact the NAGB, Turks and Caicos Islands, may go on sometime late tonight, early tomorrow morning, across the central Bahamas on Saturday into Sunday morning, across New Providence and the northwest Bahamas by Sunday evening into Monday, with some showers and thunderstorms becoming heavy at times. Temperature daytime will be in the lower 90s, at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts her up in your phone. Look at weather at sunrise.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're very pleased this morning to be joined by the Director of Education within the Ministry of Education, certainly an industry professional of esteem. I almost called you Dr. Marcellus Taylor, but good morning, Marcellus. Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning. The role that you play, the Director of Education, is a pretty intense role, and obviously within the ministry. Speak a little bit about, obviously you have the minister, you have permanent secretaries, and of course you have the director. Speak a little bit to the role of the director of education, your responsibilities.
Well, the role of director of education is quite expansive. I internalize it as having four major components. The first, I guess, and the most important role is to be the chief technical advisor to the Minister on Educational Matters. And so it's our job in that particular instance to provide the Minister with technical advice as it relates to the formulation of policy.
Okay.
Second role is to actually be responsible for the public education system. So ensuring that the schools are staffed, ensuring that administrators and different persons are in posts in different places, that the resources that are allocated are distributed appropriately, and that public education system runs effectively, or as effectively as we can run it. The third role would be to head the Department of Education, which is that part of the Ministry of Education which deals specifically with the public education system and the whole bureaucracy to support the ministry in its, on the technical side of education. And then finally, a role that may not really be enshrined in the law, but which is very much an important role, I think, for the director, which is to provide public education and information on education, so that we are able to inform the public, and shows like this is one way in which we do it, of what is happening in education, why certain things ought to be happening, and to help people to understand what it is that we're seeking to do, so that we can have everybody on board when we make decisions and when we implement programs.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, any one of those four aspects that you mentioned could be a full-time position under normal circumstances. And of course, education has changed so much. It changes every single day. I mean, with the advent of technology, just changing global systems, you know, I imagine it makes it very difficult to kind of keep up at times, given the mandate. But what specific goals, as we've just entered the new school year, and of course you've got, you know, to provide a service delivery to thousands of students across the length and breadth of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, but what specific goals do you intend to accomplish for this year?
Well, in this fiscal year, a couple of the main goals that we have would center around technology. So we're trying to ensure that all our schools have high-speed internet connectivity. We're also trying to provide devices to more of our students, and so you would have heard going around all of the talks around the provision of laptops for teachers and tablets for students. We're also trying to increase or expand the access to pre-primary education, and so in addition to what we do in the public schools, we are working with private school providers to ensure that we get more students enrolled, and the target is to have somewhere about 1,000 more children join at pre-primary level. And also we are engaged in a lot of activities around curriculum reform, and so we are trying to find ways to ensure that we regularly are able to produce rigorous, relevant curricula that will support the kind of learning that students need for 21st century living.
And of course, you know, almost in tandem with the curriculum development and curriculum support, curriculum transformation, is the delivery of that curriculum, which means that you have to have obviously competent, qualified teachers within the system, which is always a challenge, especially in an environment where industry tends to get lure, I should say, probably more of the better talent, obviously because of compensation, salaries, benefits, etc. But what would you think have been some of the challenges? Are we sufficiently staffed in terms of our teachers within the system for this year? And if not, what have been some of the challenges in recruiting?
Well, we have some shortage. I wouldn't say that it will prevent us from opening schools successfully. But one of the difficulties we have is every year we have a number of persons who exit the system that is sort of unknown to us. So the mandatory retirements, we plan for that. But there are persons who, you know, they get a job offer either at a private school here in New Providence, or they go to Canada or the US. And so we don't have a real big pool of persons to draw from at this late hour once that kind of thing happens, and so that creates some challenges. There are also some subject areas that we just will always, I think, struggle to get persons. So if someone is, let's say, a teacher of technical drawing and they have architectural skills and so forth, you're really pulling on a group of persons who, if they were to go into private industry, working directly in that field, can make 2 or 3 times what they can make as a teacher. And so in these kind of technical fields, we really struggle to keep a competent staff.
We had on Bahamas at Sunrise earlier in the week the Assistant Director of Career and Technical Education, and spoke a little bit to the way that this particular area has been focused on within the ministry. Do you see that as another critical area in addition to the technology to the overall growth and development, not just of a student, but of obviously the country, because this is the feeder system?
Yes, and I think what we have to do is we have to find ways to overcome the actual teacher shortage, and so we have to think about ways to teach people in virtual context. We have to also think of ways to establish some good partnerships so that people could apprentice and then utilize those mechanisms as opposed to thinking about it only in the traditional sense that we have to have a teacher in the front of a classroom that delivers it.
Right. Finally, what would you say to parents and students and the public at large, relative to, I guess, this collective mission called education in the Bahamas?
Well, I mean, that's the key right there, that it is a collective mission. And it's a collective mission because in addition to education being important for individual development, education is key for community and national development. And so, the old thought of education just being for the individual is really dead. It's a public good. It's something that makes our society richer. And so I want people to realize that we do invest a lot of money in education. It is a high priority of successive government administrations in the Bahamas. And the whole idea of that is so that people can embrace this opportunity to make themselves better, but also to build a country.
Listen, Marcellus, thank you very much for joining us in Bahamas at Sunrise. We've been with the Director of Education in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Marcellus Taylor. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We hope that you're enjoying this beautiful show and feeling as inspired as we are as we hang out at the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas. We're going to come back now to speak with Director Amanda Coulson, and she's brought with her one of my favorite people. I'm talking about the Communication and Development Officer, Malika Pryor-Martin. Ladies, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you.
A pleasure to be back with you. Amanda, I've been telling you, I've been girl crushing on you for a while. I just think it's so amazing what you've done with the Art Gallery, with Historic Charleston. Malika is this amazing writer and just person, and so now I know that you're bringing in amazing people into this space, and so now it makes sense that it's all happened, right?
Yeah, so I have a really amazing team. I wish I could have brought all of them because we have Bahamians from all over, from Grand Bahama, from Long Island, and again, part of the mission here is also to bring up, our team and send them on professional development, and so that's a really important part of what we do as a team.
We have a really young professional team.
Excellent. And I'm so happy to hear that because it means that art is going to kind of carry on to the next generation. And obviously we have artists everywhere, every day, but really cultivating it and curating it into a beautiful space that allows us all to just bloom and grow. How do we get people to just come in and kind of see that? It's my understanding that there is an entrance fee sometimes, but there's also something called Free Sundays. Can you guys talk me through that?
Absolutely. So local Sundays facilitate the opportunity for residents to come in for free. So literally every Sunday.
Okay.
It's free to residents.
Okay.
We open at 12 on Sundays. Every fourth Sunday, we actually offer free tour experiences, particularly for our permanent exhibition. So it's a great opportunity for locals to be able to come in and engage and kind of like taste test their museum experience, and then if they really get into it and are really excited about it, then of course they can come back, and our local fee is $7.
Okay.
But then there's also
for
membership.
Adults.
Yes, and that's for
Because
adults.
it's free
for
for
kids
children under 12,
under 12.
always.
Yeah.
And it's
Seniors
$5.
are $5.
Yeah, $5 for seniors and students as well.
That's right.
Okay, so $5 for students, $7 for adults.
Yes.
Free for kids under 12, and this is throughout the week regularly. And then on Sundays, it's absolutely free for everybody.
Absolutely free.
So we've got no excuses then.
No, and if you purchase a membership, then it's free all the time.
Okay. And how much is that membership fee?
Well, it depends. There are variations, but for an individual membership, it's only $45 for the year, and you get 300 days of Bahamian art experience.
That is awesome.
Yes,
and I'm
plus
sure
other
that
goodies.
there are tiers and levels to that, and there would be, I guess, opportunities for other events and other types of engagements, of course, if you want to find out more. So if somebody wants to call in and learn more about membership, how can they contact you?
Absolutely. So you just touch base with us at our main line, 328-5800. Of course, visit our website, nagb.org.bs. Those are two excellent ways to touch base with us. We have a wonderful team. Our email addresses are also available on the website, so I won't list all of those. But there are multiple ways to contact us. If you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we're very active there. So anytime we have updates, information, particularly with events and programs, you'll be able to find it quite easily via social media. And also if you sign up on our newsletter.
Yeah. And I think it's worth mentioning that many of our events and programs are free.
Yeah, anyway,
so
this is
it's
also
just
so true.
you know, in the week you pay just to see the museum, but a lot of our talks, we have film screenings in the amphitheater. We have all kinds of programming that happens very often in the evening, and that is almost always free.
Yeah, I know that for a while you guys were having like this cool Women Crush Wednesday thing, and people were coming out here and talking about women's issues, and that was really exciting too.
We support Women's Wednesdays,
Okay.
and that's coming back. Our first fourth Sunday will be for the new season for the fall. Will be at the end of this September. We have a quarterly event which does have a small cost, but if you're a member, it's free. And that is Friday Night Live, where we basically have about 4 events that are happening all at once, and then food and drink and merriment and happiness, live entertainment and all that good stuff. So there's a lot happening.
And then Biff, we're going to be partnering with for the next film program. So we're working with Leslie Vanderpool, and she's going to be selecting movies to screen in the amphitheater. So we're really trying again also to have partnerships with other amazing Bahamian institutions. So
Shakespeare in Paradise.
Shakespeare in Paradise will be doing something in the amphitheater. We worked with the Bahamas National Trust on our art park. So we're really also trying to big up all the other amazing Bahamian institutions, right?
Because it's so many of them.
It's so many of them.
Yes.
And
And as an artistic community, it's so important that we all come together, and I love that this is a space for that. So this, of course, is a space for that, but is there anything happening in terms of outreach to the community? I know, of course, the community can come here on Sundays, and that's free.
Absolutely.
But are you guys doing anything out there that you want to talk to me about?
So I think there are a couple of things that are really great to talk about. One is our Inter-Island Traveling Exhibition. So one of our assistant curators sort of coined this phrase that it's the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas, not the Nassau Art Gallery of the Bahamas. But we are an archipelago, and so that comes with the complications
It does.
in terms of travel and moving the national collection, but it does belong to all Bahamians. And so a few years ago, this program was initiated, and it has just continued to expand. So twice annually, we travel to a family island. Most recently to Eleuthera, and we were able to partner with one Eleuthera foundation there. So we have partners that are even on the family islands. So that's one way that we're sort of literally going physically and taking the work, taking the national collection, taking the people's art into spaces and into other communities. We also have a mural program that's also expanded to the family island. So now we have permanent elements or permanent pieces from the National Collection, permanent works that are on the islands that we visit. But we also have the mural program, of course, much more expansively here in Nassau. So whether you're moving through historic Charlestown, we have some downtown, and we are actually expanding into Over the Hill this year with our mural program, as well as schools in partnership with Alive. So healthy and meaningful corporate partnerships have also been incredibly beneficial in terms of assisting us in moving the message that art is transformative and it matters.
And it does. Like, I've seen the murals around town, and I get so excited about it because they're just so
amazing,
beautiful.
yes. And I think it's also worth mentioning that when we do the Family Island outreach, we also take the team and we do a public lecture about the show.
Yes, the curator talk.
The curator talk. The community outreach officer, Abby Smith, goes into all the local schools, or as many as she can manage that week, does a workshop. We also do a public workshop. So, we don't just go and hang a few pictures and leave. We really go and we really engage with the community, give them a full catalog of all the NAGB catalogs. So every school
we take the catalogs
has
to
all our
schools.
art books. So the teachers actually have materials to teach with. So we really, we really try to leave a mark wherever we go.
You can see that my excitement in my face, because I think that this is just so amazing and awakens the opportunity for creativity in so many kids. Let's talk about those kids, for example. A beautiful piece that's actually in the gallery now, designed by children, that you would never know because it is so amazing. But how can kids get more involved with you? You've had your summer camp that's gone on now.
Yes.
Of course, they can look forward to it again next year.
Yes, next year.
But are there any other opportunities for kids to engage with the gallery?
Absolutely. So we've recently launched the Junior Arts Council, and that's designed for middle school and high school students. It's a smaller experience. It's meant to be a bit more boutique, where we focus on individual development, of course, artistic and creative appreciation, but also just those soft skills, those life skills that are quite transferable. So we're really excited about launching that this September. We also have Art to Noons, which are a wonderful craft experience. The next one will be Christmas. Many of our workshops that are exhibition extensions are also very much family friendly and quite open. As I mentioned before, Friday Night Live is an event and an experience that's very much open to families. I mean, really everyone. But we strive to create programming that's also kid friendly because we know that sometimes that can be one of the weak areas in terms of programming. It can be hard as a parent to find something for your kids to do.
So you should speak to them.
Absolutely. So we will actually be installing, we're really excited about this, low-tech interactives. So, so often you go into a museum and whether it's a school tour or family visiting, it's like, oh, kids don't touch. And that's usually true. But we know that tactile matters, right? Being able to touch and feel helps young people in particular, but all of us really to be able to understand. And so we're going to be installing low-techs into our permanent exhibition. So the kids will basically be able to have a bit of an adventure through the installation and,
be able to flip over things.
Yes,
and again, sometimes our wall texts are,
a bit
to
advanced
read
for an
them,
8-year-old.
So we want things that are really simple and fun and, and engaging for kids as well. So you could come any time and there's something for your kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would never want this conversation to end, I'll be honest with you. But of course, we're on a limited time frame, so I've got to wrap it up now. But any final words that you really want to leave with us about just what the future of this looks like for you, Amanda?
Oh, wow, the future. Well, we're just going to keep, again, expanding our boundaries, reaching more people. We always refer to our mission. We are here to uplift, educate, and inspire all Bahamian people everywhere.
All right. I think that's a perfect note to end on. I feel uplifted. So happy that we were able to join you at the National Art Gallery today. Guess what? It's Friday, or you may be watching this on a Saturday morning. What that means, Sunday is free. So get on down here, see exactly what we have to offer, feel inspired by the beauty of these gardens, by the beauty of the works here, all the artists have poured into, and of course, it's yours. It's Bahamian. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise, coming to you live from the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas, where I feel uplifted and inspired. We're going to be right back after this commercial break.
Shell is taking you on an exciting journey with its summer promotion. Now through September 14th, enter for your chance to win a brand new 2018 Toyota Yaris. Just make a minimum purchase of $20 worth of fuel from any Shell service station in Nassau. Answer the skill question on the entry form and submit. The grand prize will be drawn on September 14th. Other weekly prizes include free fuel vouchers and VIP packages to see Jay-Z and Beyonce live in concert August 31st at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. For more info, visit their Facebook page at Sun Oil Bahamas.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. Are you telling me he was being all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Thank you so much for staying with us today.
Great show.
Definitely.
Great show. Had a really good time here at the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas. You know, I was going to wear my really artistic shirt
I don't know
again.
How you do it.
You know, I'm going to give a shout out to Alia, right? You know Alia.
I do know
that's a friend
Alia.
from Grandmama Doc. You know, apparently my shirt was too much last week, and I toned it down just a little bit.
No, Ali, I don't want you to be great. Ali, let Phil be great.
Let
See,
me
that's
be
why,
great,
that's
man.
why I had to wear my artsy dress
Exactly.
today so I could get movement. You know, it's all about the art, Phil.
Well, anyway.
This is like a natural art.
Yeah,
palette,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you,
yes,
you
it's
still,
all right.
you still look handsome.
Good,
as
thank you
always.
very much. You
Yeah.
hear that, Doc?
Remember that our back to school show is on Monday. So we want you to take a picture of all of those little beauties and little handsome gentlemen as they're going back to school. Send us
Fresh
that
up.
photo. All fresh up. Hashtag all fresh up. But seriously, send it to us. The details are on our Facebook page. That's Bahamas at Sunrise on Facebook. You can find out all the details there, including who to send those photos to if you go to that page. So thank you so much for tuning in to us today.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to seeing you on Monday.
That's right. Until then, have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend.
Bye.